seeing some support from McLaren already in the chat box. Hopefully we can get in there. It looks dry, doesn't it?
It does.
First forks.
Doesn't look like any rain's inbound, especially for qualifying. We don't know about the race, but
Yeah.
well, we'll see how this
Hopefully, I'd like to
unfolds.
see some rain in races. A few cars out early.
I think the time should be very close here. I think they were for Tier 3.
Yeah.
Before we get underway, who's your bet on getting pole?
I think, as always, we've got to look at perennial, stand out,
Yeah.
performance.
I think Alex
well,
probably will be up there.
yeah, King
Based on what
Trooper
we've
as
seen.
well.
Trooper, yeah.
The top 4, unless anyone can spring a surprise.
Jones Gang, maybe. He's got good qualifying pace.
Yeah, he's the first one out at the moment.
He is.
See what he can do on his first lap.
Yeah.
At the seaside Zandvoort circuit at the Netherlands. It's a tough track, this really, isn't it?
It is.
A lot
Lots of elevation changes.
Yeah.
So,
But it makes it one hell of a driving experience, I think.
it is a nice track to drive, but, you know.
I wondered earlier, I know guys, I don't know if Straw Shark, I think he might do it, some of them obviously if it can. First person, I mean,
yeah.
that'll be mental, I think, driving this. Jones Gang heads into the first.
Looks tucked into that inside there. That looked quite nice. Yeah.
Yeah, even that looked quite good on turn
Yeah.
4, stuck to the inside rather nicely. The sun's probably in their eyes a bit here as well.
That can become a real issue because it is when you're driving it. It does become a distraction.
One of the Williams might have crashed at the hairpin there. I think it's B either time. Might be wrong there.
Jones Gang down into sector 2.
Yeah, you ideally want to take a bit more of that inside curb.
Yeah. Oh, the McLaren. Oh, got out of the way, to be fair. Best
Yeah, that was a tricky one. I think ideally Jones Gang would have liked him on the other side of the track, but I don't think the Sures will do anything.
That is a 109.7.
That's a good first lap.
It is.
Good, isn't it?
Good banker lap there, yeah.
Can Goose Slayer go quicker? Wow, that's a phenomenal lap.
Especially for
first time round.
Sat on the edge of the track.
Be slightly quicker than the Tier 3 time. I don't.
What?
Oh, yeah, Matty's slow there. Not sure what's going on there.
I think was he just waiting for drivers to go past?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Go on.
Well, I have been told by Goose that I think he has got a new rig set up. So,
oh, okay.
And he was telling me it's made him more consistent, so that might be partly why. I think that's a really good lap time first time round, to be fair. There's Bad Bunny spins on that deadly curb. Oh, and Williams there.
I know, 10.8.
I think that was good. Or 5-place grid penalty for Bad Bunny. I think it was just for Bad Bunny. I don't think it was for Goose, from what I can see. Merc on a lap. Let's go on board with Merc. Possible purple in sector 2. What can you do? Closing stages of a lap. Got a bit of traffic ahead. It's far enough ahead not to prove a problem. Down to 4th quickly, then up to 5th. Then settle inside there. Some drivers like to take the shorter line here. This could be a good lap.
Good. 109.3. Good first lap. About a 10th off of Goose Slayer, which, you know, that's a very good lap. Alex just slotting in P3, just 14 milliseconds behind Merc.
That's a close one.
Yeah. That'd be a good battle,
those two have a very interesting relationship off track. So
Gary's slotting into P5, 109.9.
Yeah, in the 109s. I think if anyone can get into the 108s, that's where the money is. On board with Perennial. 2 corners to go, really. What can he do? The championship leader, I think 50 points at the moment.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for him to, because obviously we haven't got speed up here. So, only P4. Still a decent banker. You know, something to build
Yeah,
on
no,
throughout the session.
I think it is. I mean, I think those top 3 lap times are very good for the first runs. It'll be extremely interesting to see whether anyone can breach the 109s and get into the 108s. I think if they can, it could be good enough for pole.
Yeah, I think you're right there. The 108s just seem very difficult to get into. For for these level of drivers, let's say. So if a driver does manage to somehow get into the 108s, I think that has got to be pole. But you never know. We said that last week about Perennial. I think we said that if he gets into the 1 minute 2s, then that's pole. But
yeah,
he got troubled otherwise. So
Stupid Zombie across the line, P9 for now, just behind Electro Freeze, who I believe is also reserving Tier 1 later. So one of a few drivers doing both races today.
yeah,
Straw
and of course
Shark
he did
approaching the line.
Tier 3 yesterday. So. And I think he came P3 in that race, if I remember correctly.
No, I think that's Stupid Zombie, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stupid Zombie. P3 in that race, so he'll be looking to continue his momentum. Also, Gary did Tier 3 yesterday, so a few of them looking to continue some momentum from the previous race in the week. And the Ferraris going out very close. I don't think they'd be really trying to get toe off each other here, but we'll see. Sometimes the teams just like to do that, really.
Stupid Zombie's gone again, and I believe he's setting a lap. From what I saw, he was 7/10 up in the middle sector. Yeah. Where can this put him? 7th place, not bad there.
Yeah, good improvement.
Yeah.
I don't know whether, his strategy could be compromised having done an extra lap on them, but it's worth a shot. I think Gary also did 2 laps on his softs as well, maybe. So
yeah, and Jones did as well. So. I think that is the first set of runs done for this qualifying session. We've got a Williams off the road, Beaver time, taking the polystyrene.
I think he struggled a bit so far. I'm not sure why, but I think he was. I think he was the Williams who did have a bit of trouble in that hairpin turn 4.
Yeah.
So King Trooper looking to set a lap. Let's go on board with King Trooper here. He can definitely improve.
Oh, got on the curb. Oh,
yeah.
He's backed out already.
He's already backed off, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be on that curb really at all. I don't think it doesn't. If you get lucky, maybe you can gain some time on it, but I think it's highly unlikely that you will. More often than not, it's just gonna send the car into a frenzy.
Board with Gary, I think he's on a lap.
Yeah.
See what he can do. He is 10th and a half up. Looking good so far for the Ferrari driver.
Yeah, he would have gone past King Trooper, who had spun, so he might be feeling a little bit of extra pressure. The weight of Ferrari perhaps on his shoulders on this lap.
I believe this
will
will
really
shoot him up to P4 if he continues this sort of pace. Short.
And take the middle line.
To the line, yeah.
I think that's
good luck there.
Good lap. That's interesting to watch. I think. I think a lot of drivers taking different lines out of that last corner. Some will stick it right to the right of the track. Some, like Gary Bell, go for the middle. Some will just take the racing line.
Yeah.
Alex, 2 corners to go. I'm not sure because we've only caught. Oh, that will be an invalidation. But Merck behind him on track. What can Merck do here? Can he go quicker? If he can find more than a 10th, he's got a chance.
He's taking the shortest run to the line. I thought he was going to.
Will it make a difference?
Oh. Very close.
Close, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Perennial on a lap. Jones Gang is, but he's aborted it. Let's see what Perennial can do.
Yeah, but I think the problem is we expect a lot from Perennial now. You know, from the past races,
yeah,
it's quite a few pole positions, so that expectation is relatively high. But,
yeah, King Trooper up to P7
yeah.
as well.
Oh,
So
just
that top
behind Jones
7.
Gang.
Yeah, I mean, I think that top 7 on pace are the ones to look out for, really. They're the contenders at the moment.
Perennial is 3/10 up in the middle sector. Sorry, Scott, push you there.
See.
But taking the shortest run to the line once again. Where does this put him? Wow, 109.1, just ahead of Goose Slayer. I believe he's still yet to come back out the pits.
Yeah, it's a very good lap. I think, again, we expect it from him. I mean, he does seem to handle pressure quite well, I think. He's put in another very good qualifying lap in. And I think the impetus is on the other drivers now. The momentum is with Perennial. Can Jones Gang improve? Yes, he can, up to P4. The top, the top 8, all a mix of British and American drivers. Perennial, the Brit out front, the 3 Americans behind, then 4 more British drivers behind there.
Oh, and that seemed a little bit late, but Beaver time on a lap. Can he finally nail put a lap together? Sorry. From what we've seen, I think he has had a few offs, hasn't he, so far?
Yeah.
But yeah, we does in his first sector. He is down by 1/10.5. Can he improve?
He's locking up again.
Yeah.
I think, which is the curious thing. I mean, that's what. Whenever I've been on board with him, he does seem to be locking up quite a lot. So maybe that's to do with the setup. I'm not sure.
He has improved, but not by enough.
Yeah, Bad Bunny just entering the pits. They're not gone to plan for him so far.
What does Beaver time decide to do? He decides to pit. So he's in a good position actually, because it's P11.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of those guys can definitely improve. So we can see improvement. I mean, we've already seen the Tier 3 time of a 109.2, I think it was, beaten by some drivers up there. So they are finding pace compared to yesterday.
Coyote
Coyote up to Peter.
Yeah. Oh, not
Gary's on a lap. Out of the guys up there. Stupid zombies as well.
Needs to be careful here because
yeah, it's worked against him here.
Josh Hart needs to move out the way.
Oh, what's he doing there? Unless well, was he on a lap? I'm not sure.
Out. Well,
he might have been on a lap as well, though. I'm not entirely sure.
Pretty sure.
I mean, he didn't seem to be going that fast, but I don't know. It didn't show it on the screen. It didn't show it as an outlap, so I don't know. But Gary would have presumed he was on an outlap, so a bit of a tricky one.
Yeah.
I mean,
he was gaining.
I don't know how many sets.
Well.
Yeah, I mean, if he has spare sets of tyres, Gary might be better off just trying to get into the pit and getting a fresh set on. I think he would have time. Stupid zombie up to P6. He is driving a Mercedes, but I do believe he is meant to be reserving for the Renault team.
Yeah. Right. And
he put in a good drive yesterday. I mean, he was third.
Gary's going to go again.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that though. I think the tyres, especially if he had to react quickly to the straw shark instant, they're not going to be great.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they. It does say he's on 3-lap old tyres. I'm guessing that's just the tyres that he set his best lap on.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I've put it on fitted and it only says 1 now,
Okay,
so
okay.
yeah. Yeah, maybe saving a set of softs for the race in case there's a safety car.
Well, we don't know if it's going to rain, I mean, if you've been told anything, but...
Yeah, I've not seen anything in the chat. I've seen support for Jones
Oh,
gang,
hang on a
support for
minute.
McLaren.
Being told the race is wet.
Oh, is it?
I've been
Ooh.
rumoured.
Full wet?
No, not sure. Just said wet.
I would just be interested to see whether, if it is quite wet, whether some of them have made adjustments based on the weather. Gary up to P6.
Yeah. Maybe you could possibly be right in saying, should he have picked and put on a fresh set of softs and gone again?
Yeah. Merc on a lap. Purple sector 1 for the American.
Can he do it? I'm not sure.
I think he's still in the pits.
Yeah,
so
I don't think he's coming back out. I hope we do get to see some. Unless I'm just being baited, but oh, no.
Oh, invalid. Just a bit loose out of that corner, wasn't it?
I think he can go again.
I don't think he gained any time from it. It's a bit unlucky. Yeah, it's got enough fuel in, I would say. But I mean, if it's a wet race, if it's a wet start, they don't have to worry about them being the starting tyre, so he can just go again.
Alex has P4 just behind Mert.
Yeah.
I had a Jones guy who's, I think, is down
Yeah,
on his time.
Jones gang. Yeah, I'm not improve unless he can get this right. Takes the race in line.
No,
can he improve? No.
Quite.
King Trooper might be interesting to watch. I think Perennial and King Trooper are probably the ones to watch at this point, unless anyone can surprise us.
Gary's sitting in P6.
Yeah, I think, you know, especially if the race is wet, it's more about that race start rather than qualifying. But if you can get on the front row, you've got some of the job done, I think. You've got
Jones Gang has decided to go again.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Shot.
By Mert. 2 milliseconds slower than his previous best.
Yeah, Perennial slightly down on his last lap. Unless he can nail this final sector, he's not going to go quicker, but he might not even need to. They've
Troopers 3/10 up
behind him. Yeah, I think Troopers one to look out for. Let's see what Perennial can do. Slightly quicker, slightly. King Trooper, the only one perhaps who can spring a surprise. I don't think it'll be enough for pole, but can he get up there?
P6.
P6, Ferrari.
So
P6,
once again,
P7. 2 McLarens behind there.
Yeah, top spot.
Yeah. Absolutely.
At this point, it's becoming no surprise, but well, that light was surprised. But, I think we have got a few mix-ups in there. You know, Goose Slayer P2. That was his first lap, wasn't it? That's a great lap.
I think it was, to be fair.
Yeah. And then you've got
the stream a bit. I don't know how badly, but we'll just press on.
Yeah, we'll continue on. If it does get to a point where it's, very bad, then we'll have to possibly do something. But yeah, I think if you look at the top 10, 5 tenths between them all, not bad at all.
Yeah, definitely not.
So
well, I mean, Enzi's told me that Perennial's pace in the wet isn't great.
Well,
so
I've been informed that it's going to rain about a third way through the race.
Ah, so it's a dry start. And
yeah.
Okay.
So this could actually be interesting because those on the softs, what are they going to do? Are they going to try and extend to the rain, or are they going to pit early? The rain comes later.
Yeah, there's two options really. I mean, you either want to prolong the life of the softs, but as we know, this pit lane is one of the shortest pit lanes out of all the tracks to go through. So you could chance pitting earlier, maybe, even going for soft tyres again and preempt the rain. But it's hard to predict when the rain's going to come. They'll be talking to Jeff in the early stage of the race, I'm sure, and getting updates from the great man himself.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it should be. Add some spice, shouldn't it? I think.
I hope we get to see. I hope they do get to see some new drivers. I hope the rain mixes it up.
Yeah, hopefully. It's certainly an
Why
opportunity.
have we got Sam in a car? I don't know.
He was probably meant to spectate.
Oh, do Sam.
Wow. Sam's. I'm sure Sam's responsible enough just to back off into the first corner and then just complete a lap.
Oh, I'm not sure about
that. I won't say anything.
No. Yeah, that's what to do.
It should be interesting though. I mean, I think Goose, hopefully he can have a clean race. I mean, we hope they can all have a clean race, but I think Goose is certainly someone who has been a bit unlucky in maybe these earlier races in the season. I think we know he's quicker than that.
Yeah.
To be honest. So it's going to be interesting.
I can't remember what happened at Austria to him, because he was up there. He pitted early, didn't he, Gooseley? Onto the hards.
Yeah. I think it was more Belgium as well. I think in Belgium,
yeah,
he was on the mediums, and I think he decided to pit again, and it maybe wasn't the right call. He maybe could have, just decided to, risk extending those tyres, but it's hard to say. We don't know when these tyres are going to puncture. And they're about to finish the formation lap. It's a quick lap here, 1:10.
Yeah.
So the lap should tumble away. Safety cars might play a part, and weather inbound, I think.
Well,
I think we're in for quite a good race.
I'm just looking now, and you can already see some clouds forming up in the distance.
Yeah.
Hopefully they move along quick.
What tyres are they on as well, actually? I've not checked that.
That's a good point.
So, not many drivers actually. Maybe that's because of the rain. Maybe they think it's going to come sooner, but only Matty Jr., Slow Cheetah, and Hal on the alternate compound. Everyone else is on the softs.
You see, it's difficult to predict the rain because, it comes later or it comes earlier than what it actually says. It never comes bang on point.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how it goes, but keep it in 31, boys. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think the mediums, I mean, if the rain comes later, it's going to help them. It really is. But we'll see. Approaching the lights out of DTF1 Tier 2, Netherlands. And the lights are out, and away we go. Perennial off the line. He looks good. Goose is going to look to challenge. The leaderboard's glitched. The Red Bull up there, 3 wide.
Oh, front wing. Carbon fibre flying somewhere.
Alex up to P3. I think Merck's dropped down the Ferrari. He's going to go for it down the inside. Merck's got the position still covered. The AlphaTauri having a look as well.
Oh,
yellow flags.
Oh, glitch.
I think that's just for Sam.
Carbon fibre flying in the air there.
Yeah. I think the orders relatively remain the same. We've got Perennial out front, Goose Slayer behind, Alex behind him in third, Merc P4, King Trooper I think up to P5, Jones Gang.
Yeah, not many position changes. But
Gary's going to go for it on Jones Gang down the inside, all contact.
Gary's on.
Keeps it going though.
Oh,
he does well to keep it going, although they're on the back of him here.
Almost. Oh.
Constantina in up. Gary's going to defend this. I think he's got it.
Bunny up to P10.
I mean, Gary did well to keep on going, really. I don't know whether he's got damage, though. Electro Freeze around the outside as he left enough space. Gary's just backed off a bit there. That's a shame.
Here comes Gary.
Yeah, we've not seen...
No, can he make the move? I think that is a Mercedes heading into the stupid zombie. And we could be seeing 3 wide here. Not quite. Although... Kota and Gary are going wheel to wheel.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a shame for Gary because the top 6 are running away with it.
Yeah.
Against the rest of the field. Hopefully. I mean, I think it looked like a relatively clean first lap, which is good. My leaderboard's still glitched, but it is perennial out front. Goose, then Alex, then Merc, then Trooper, Jones Gang. Yeah, I think mine's updated. Electro, Freeze, Coyote, the 2 Mexicans ahead of Gary now. Bad Bunny just battle on contact. I'm not quite sure when he caught the end of that. Contact Bad Bunny to the back of Gary. He's going to lose out a bit there. Hal on the hard tyres. Oh, and he's...
Clarence sent it. It was on the gravel then.
Maybe down to the hard tyres.
Oh, and oh. Okay, we're saying Gary going at it.
Yeah.
Here goes Gary switching to the inside. Lovely.
Yeah. That must have been close to the back of Coyote, though. Can he do it? Down the inside. Close.
Thought we're going to spin.
Still going at it.
Yeah, we trust them.
Ooh.
Good defending from Coyote, really.
Yeah, Gary will be frustrated, I think, but he's just got to keep going.
Yeah, there really is a big train now forming up behind Electro Freeze in the Renault.
There's 2 trains, isn't there, really? There's the top 6, and then the battle for 7th. Perennial, at the moment, hasn't quite strung out the gap. And if rain comes, and if rain is his weakness, that's not a good thing. Merc on the back of Alex. Alex must have made a mistake, but the DRS protecting the young British driver there.
Getting very close to the back of him.
Yeah, he's going to have a look, I think.
Yeah.
On the pit straight.
Alex shouldn't have. Yeah. Will Alex have DRS? I don't think he does. He doesn't have DRS. Here comes Merc. Can he make the move around the outside of turn 1? Not quite. Alex closes the door.
Yeah, good defending from the looks of it, I would say.
As Gooseley is also getting very feisty up front, trying to duel with Perennial for the lead.
Gary battling with Electro Freeze, so Coyote must have got past Electro Freeze. Gary up to P8 now.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing about this track. I've noticed a bit in the practice. If you get caught up behind someone battling, you do lose a lot of time. I think for a lot of these corners, only really one line through them, and if you get off that line, it just costs you so much time. But they're only about 2 seconds apart, the top 5 here. Goose Slayer right on the back of Perennial.
There you go, Straw Shark on Electro Freeze. Meanwhile, it's got the move done. That is P9 for the returning driver.
Electro Freeze on the curb as well there. Strolling for the exit. Let's go back out front. Is anyone going to make a move?
I think it's just a big train at the moment. He's
going to pull closer. Yeah, he can't get close enough. Just stays on the racing line. Maximises the corner. As the 2 seconds only separate.
Here goes Gary down the inside of Coyote once again. Although Coyote, I think he's got the better traction out of turn 1 and he's managed to keep the place.
Yeah, great battle so far between those two. 2/10 Goose Slayers behind.
Yeah.
He's right on the back, pressuring Perennial, the Tier 2 championship leader. Only 1 second separating the top 4, really. They're all on top of each other. I hope no one's going to have contact, because I think we could easily see Dynamite go off.
Yeah.
So close out front.
It is.
But it's great to see. Even down in the battle for 7th, they're all close.
Gary's still right on the back of Coyote.
Yeah. Let me know if he makes the move. Perennial stay out front. Goose is on the back of him. Goose might look for it this time around. Perennial to the inside and back to the racing line. Goose has a look. He's not quite close enough though on this occasion. There's still plenty of laps left to get these moves done.
Gary couldn't quite make the move, and the 2 McLarens possibly going at it. Not quite. But we do have some.
Yeah.
gaps starting to form now. I mean,
yeah, the top six
doing well, but
will be looking at that window. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they're all capable drivers. They're 7th to 10th.
Yeah.
Gary right on the back of Coyote, isn't he? Right on the back of him.
Yeah, he's got. I think he's got to try and find a way through.
Oh, yellow flags, Mercedes.
Zombie.
Stupid zombie, I think. Yeah. Gary a bit too far back. Let's check out the battle out front. It's Goose Slayer. He's 4/10.
Oh, and that was very twitchy then.
Perennial.
From Perennial. Who is that who's off? Is that Beaver time? Tease.
Yeah. Goose has a look. Not quite close enough. One thing I will say about Perennial, he knows how to defend. This isn't going to be easy to get past him, that's for sure. Regardless if it's dry or wet.
Oh, and the battle for 7th is continuing to heat up because here goes Straw Shark. Round the outside of Gary's got to move done.
Yeah, unless Gary can get the better exit.
Yeah.
These two came together a bit in qualifying. They've not done so here, unless I've jinxed them.
Oh, no.
I might have done a little bit.
Oh, what is
Fortunately.
Oh.
Unfortunately, that was the definition of a commentator's curse.
He's back on the track with a load of polystyrene now.
Yeah, it might be a visit
He's
to
back
stewards,
off,
I think, there, but we'll see. Oh, and Goose Slayer.
Oh, and yeah, that's
close.
what's happened there to get the gap so close?
Yeah.
And
that's compromised to Goose a little
bit.
He's out of sequence. Alex might also have the run on him. I think, yeah, the DRS protecting Goose as well.
I think Goose could go for it, not quite.
Really threatening Perennial. It's cloudy. No sign of rain yet.
The sun, yeah. Lap 8 out of 36.
Do they risk the box? Or do they go low to Gary might have suffered wing damage because he has pitted.
Yeah,
and he's there a long
the soft
time.
Compact tyres for him.
Yeah. Yeah, Merc right on the back of Alex. They've done well these four. I mean, these 5 to not have crashed into each other really. They've been so close throughout these first 8 laps. It is beginning to look darker. The shadows beginning to grow around the track. We're close to the sea here, so the weather can easily roll in off the North Sea.
Merc getting on board with Merc. Just watching him, he's getting very close to the back of Alex.
Yeah. I think we could see some moves, and Alex takes the wider line. Yellow flags, Straw Shark off. Yeah, looks down. It does look dark. Goose Slayer going for it around the outside.
As Trooper decides to pit.
Yeah, but 5-second penalty.
Yeah.
I think for speeding might cost him Perennial looser. This tyre's beginning to go perhaps now. Beginning to reach.
Jones Gang just had a spin, which has allowed Coyote to get up to P5, and Bunny's on the inside.
Yeah.
Seals the P6.
Some wheel banging, but and contacts the back.
Not sure.
Careful now. Jones ahead.
Yeah,
I think it's a bit of a wheel banging. Merc past Alex, but Alex.
Oh, and on the curve.
Still going for it.
Oh, he's managed to keep it well, to be fair.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm not quite sure what the mistake. I'm not quite sure what the mistake was. Maybe could have done with a little bit more room for Alex there, but the stewards will take a look at that afterwards, perhaps. Didn't see it in its entirety, so hard to say. Yeah, will any of these front 4 start to pit? The pit window, they would come out, I think perhaps behind King Trooper though.
Yeah. Trooper's got a...
They'll come out behind the battle
to the
for 5th,
back of Bunny, but he did have a nice gap. But, he found himself in.
I think Trooper's going to come up against that traffic, and I'm not sure he's going to be able to get past too easily.
Yeah, I mean...
It'll cost him time, that's the problem.
Battle for 5th really is.
Yeah, Bunny ahead of Jones Gang.
And the clouds really have rolled in now. as I think all of the sun on their track has just disappeared.
Yeah.
As Gary's overtaken by Hal. Gary's not going to give the position up that easy though.
Coyote struggling. Bunny having a look there. Yeah, Coyote I think was 4th in the end in Austria. I think there was another race, can't remember which it was. He was up to 5th at one point. I think it was maybe Hungary. So he is capable of getting a solid high points finish for the Red Bull team. He's holding out at the moment. Bad Bunny right behind him.
I've just seen a fantastic...
gets
the
past.
rain.
Oh, is it rain?
That is rain.
Yep.
And I was just about to say, I've just seen a fantastic move from Trooper. Lovely traction.
Oh, and Goose
sweeps
past Perennial on the pit straight.
He has.
Looks like he got that done before the braking zone as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened.
So I wondered whether Perennial was struggling. But they're going to struggle so much now on
the rain
these
seems to be coming in
soft
quite
tyres.
quick.
Yeah, it's going to depend how quick it rains. How quick will they go for the intermediate tyres? It's a short lap, as we've said before, 1 minute 10 seconds, which could play into their decision making.
True, on the outside of Coyote, can he get the move done?
Yellow flags, is that contact? Oh,
that is a safety car!
Safety car.
Oh,
Oh my goodness me.
Gary's DNF.
That car looked fucked, to be honest.
So.
I think no wheels. That's a shame though, because I think it's going to make their choice easy to get on the inters, really. Unfortunately.
Depends. It really does depend how quick.
Well, I think it's
down.
inters now. Really.
We'll see what every driver does, but
I think you've got to pit for inters, probably. It's hard for me to say. I'm not out there, so I can't judge the track. But I think you'll lose out too much if you don't go into the inters now. I mean, it's a short pit lane. I mean, we don't know whether it might dry up by the end or whether it's going to intensify.
Yeah,
I think we'll see all of them pit. Yeah. That's a shame, really.
What tyres?
It just neutralises it, really. But
surely it's got to be the inters. Yeah.
Yeah, unless anyone's made a mistake in their selection.
Truth stayed out there. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's the right call, but
yeah, it's a bit of a risk, and I think he had the 5 second, which he'll probably get that removed. Well, no, it's speed in the pit lane, so I don't think he will get it removed. But he might have been better off just pitting just to get it out the way. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it depends on the intensity of the rain, but I think he might lose quite a lot of positions if he has to pit for the inters now. But we'll see. Not a great day for Ferrari. Potentially.
No.
They are 4th in the constructors. Alfa Romeo lead in the constructors at the moment with 87 points, racing points just behind with 68 points, but they're not going to be scoring any points this race. No speeds up, and Hal DNFing after that horror crash with Gary, and then Red Bull in 3rd in the Constructors' Championship with 62.
Yeah, once again, Red Bull on for some good points. At the moment, 4th and 8th. But we'll see how they get on. I mean, any points
they got a good
this
chance.
race will do. But
yeah.
It's a safety car.
Yeah, I mean, it should be out one more lap, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened there. As Trooper does pit.
Yeah, Trooper pitted. Yeah, I mean, he's going to lose a lot of positions.
Yeah. He's got a certain 5 second as well.
Yeah.
Where does this put him? Don't think it's quite outside the points. No, it's not. A10. But
well, they'll be slightly fresher though. I mean, we're not sure how far these intermediates will go in the race. I think there's a chance they'll have to pit and get onto a fresh set. I'm not sure they'll get the inters till the end. Possibly, but as we said, it's a quick pit lane here, so unfortunately it's not really worth the risk. Really. You know, I think it's a shame that safety car's come out there, to be honest, because it made the decision easy for them. I mean, I think the rain, it has come down a bit, hasn't it? But
yeah,
I think it did make their minds up.
If it is, it does look like intermediates, but just in case it isn't quite, we could see a good few opening laps. Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on here with Trooper and
he shouldn't be doing that.
Slow
is all I'm gonna say.
Has he got to move? He's making contact now.
Well, I think it's because Slow Cheater's in AI, but I won't say any more about it. That's just a bit silly, I think. Is it in this lap?
It's not in this lap.
Not sure.
I think we're still waiting for straw shots.
Yeah, we are. Which again, these tyres are going to get cold.
Yeah. I don't think these I'm hearing that this rain is here to stay to the end of the race. I don't think these are going to make it to the end. We will have to see them pit again at some point.
Yeah.
I think tyre degradation for these are really high.
For the Inters?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we will see them pit again. Unless the safety car slows it down, we might see another safety car VSC and so on. Is that Coyote on the hard tyres? Was that a mistake?
Yeah. No.
I think it must have been.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, if you're at the back of a train, it probably is worth pitting, so...
Keep an eye on his progress. I'm not sure it is hard tyre weather, but...
Well, I presume he's pitted and it's put him on the hards. I mean, if you can pit now, you've got more of a chance of making the Inters till the end, to be fair, so... And it is in this lap, so...
Rain is getting heavier.
Is it?
So,
possible wets by the end?
We'll see. Now time for the safety car. We're only on lap 14. Well, it's been quite slow, but it's been enjoyable so far.
Yeah, I think it's just for safety. I slowed things down. Goose is gone, but I'm not...
He's got a limiter, I think.
Oh, that safety car
hasn't gone in, and here comes
down,
Torrential. He's going to have to get the position back, I imagine.
Oh, Merc
he stole the show. Although he broke way too late.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, really.
Well, what a move into turn 1.
Yeah, he just went for it, didn't he? It paid off.
That was a blunder, really. That's not something that Goose will be wanting to see back again.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one. We've seen it happen in practices before. If you don't quite slow down enough, it's tricky. You don't want to slow down too much, but that safety car, if you don't let it pull away enough, it does put the revs on, or whatever it does, puts you on the limiter, slows it all down. Perennial on the back of Goose. Slips behind. The rain is coming down.
It is.
They're struggling out there. Could it be wet tyres even by the end?
Yeah, the track is definitely wet now, isn't it? Spray. Looking up.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. It does look bad out there. Bad Bunny up to P5. He's done well. I think that safety car the safety car benefited him. He was in that battle for 7th really, or 5th, or whatever place it was in the second train, and he's now in the big number 1 train, in with a chance of maybe getting a podium.
He's pulling away up front, 1.2 seconds that gap. So I think Gooseley might be struggling on those intermediates. But you know, even in the dry, this is a difficult track to overtake on. Even more so in the wet, really.
Yeah, you're right about that. It's a good point. It's going to be even more difficult to get close, to get past. There's not going to be any DRS now either.
I think it will be down to individual mistakes.
Yeah. Yellow flags?
Is that Mercedes? Oh, good. And green.
Jones gang right on the back of Bad Bunny, slight contact to the rear of the McLaren. Jones gang looking to take the wide line. He corrected his steering there, you would have noticed, because he didn't want to get on that curb and be sent spinning.
Not quite close enough.
Yeah. Goose did close the gap to Merck in the first sector, but it has grown again. Again, you wonder whether any of these drivers have made changes to their cars with the wet weather in mind. You know, whether that's just a slight adjustment, you know, it could make all the difference.
Yeah.
I think in the dry, we saw them packed up close together. Merck beginning, maybe, could he be the one to pull away from the others? Quite possibly.
Yeah, 2 seconds up. Well, I think it was 2 seconds, unless my eyes telling something else. But
Yellow flags. I think that's Matty.
Yeah.
Quite possibly. He's going to keep it going though. If you can, just keep it going. We've 13 runners now. Well, 3 retirements really, if we don't count Sam, who wasn't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So I think you know, there's a good chance we could see another safety car VSC. It's tough conditions. Could see people spin. So they've still got to decide when they're going to pit again, or can they last these intermediate tyres, approaching half race distance as well. So
2.1 now, like
plenty to
that.
come. Yeah, Beaver time past Slow Cheetah. Beaver time up to P9.
Oh,
They're keeping it.
Perennial was a bit loose coming off that last corner. Alex might have a look at him going into turn 1.
Again, though, it's just without that DRS.
Yeah.
It's difficult. I mean, in the wet, you'll recharge more energy because you've got to brake for longer. But yeah, that goes both ways. If anyone can overtake, it'll be one hell of a move. Yeah, Perennial may be beginning to struggle a bit in these wetter conditions now. Goose Slayer pulling a gap to him. But from personal experience, considering how well he defended in Austria against me, I think it'll be incredibly tough for anyone to get past Perennial.
Yeah, some guys are just beginning to open up now. I mean, Jones guy's still right behind Bunny, but there's just nothing he can do about it because, you know, there's no DRS to assist you. He
had a little look, but I mean, especially there, it's incredibly hard to outbrake someone. I mean, it's an opportunity to overtake that DRS, but it's not clear. Not clear. You've got to rely on someone to make a mistake. I mean, he's right on the back of him now, but you don't want to risk it too much. You can easily spin.
Here we go.
I think he's got him here, Jones gang. On the inside.
Forcing his way around, really, but he's got loose on traction, and Bunny stole that 5th place back from him.
Yeah, there was contact. They might want to have a look at that afterwards. I'm not sure. Hard to say without both on boards. King Trooper just behind P7.
Yeah, Goosley seems to be struggling a little bit more now. I think he's getting quite a bit understeer from what I can see.
Yeah. Yeah, Merck's in a great position. He's done well. He's adapted to these conditions the best out of any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Alex right on the back of Perennial. To be fair, 3/10.
Definitely the most entertaining fight at the moment between these two.
He had a little look, I think, as well. But
they have some personal agendas, but we'll not get into them. I think he might have him now.
Alex right on the back of him, nearly snapped it though.
Yeah, that's
just a little bit too much throttle. Yeah, he might have another go next lap. But yeah, you would have felt think he's maybe a bit of a commentator's curse again. I think if he'd managed to nail that exit,
yeah,
he really did have a lot of momentum. But yellow
that is
flags.
Matty.
Yeah,
He's
he
up
spun it
again.
there, I think.
Fair play for him to carry on there. That'd be a commentator's curse. I know. Go and retire and this that. But yeah, I mean, you know, I think as I said before, it can be quite demoralising when you're 33 seconds behind.
Yeah.
Oh, next car in
Gone off
front.
again, I think. There, yeah.
Not sure.
Yeah, he's going to keep it going. Just needs to be a bit careful. I think it's just on the exit, probably sliding. And Alex right on the back of Perennial. He might get it done here.
Yeah, flags.
He's on the outside. It's going to be tough. Oh, he's in front at the moment. We'll see what happens. Maybe he'll have to give it back. I'm not sure. We'll see. Perennial
he's
loose.
back in front now, but...
Yeah, I think Alex maybe he did have to give it back.
This is like a goose to play, really.
Yeah, still on the back of him.
Yeah,
King Trooper as well did get the fastest lap in dry conditions.
Oh,
So that will probably remain fastest lap in a point for him. Yeah, Alex just can't quite do enough to get past Perennial.
Yeah,
it allows Goose Slayer some breathing room, and Bad Bunny has caught up on these two. Yeah, Matty Jr. enters the pit lane.
Is it going to carry on?
Yeah, do you know? It's a tough one. You never know what's going to happen.
Commentator's curse again.
Yeah.
But
Well, maybe we should just shut up and not say
anything.
anything.
Yeah, it's just like you watch the race.
Jones gang staying with him. The interesting thing will be is if anyone picks up corner cutting penalties,
yeah,
it could see them go right down the order. I mean, for example, if Perennial gets a free second, he'd be sixth right now. So.
Oh yeah.
Or I mean, King Trooper's closed the gap now, as well though. So you're not wrong. Well, I think Trooper has a penalty. 5 seconds there. So unless he gets that removed, he will lose a few places.
The rain.
Alex
really,
on the.
I've just noticed the rain really is lashing down now, isn't it? It could be wet weather conditions very soon. Is it when I say that wet ties? Sorry.
Yeah, quite possibly. It is going to be. I think, as I said, hopefully we don't see another safety car and they all pit on the same lap. Hopefully it's a bit more of a strategic decision for them to make. It's difficult to say. Merck currently leading though. If he can maintain this lead, it will see him gain some vital points on the championship leader. Perennial, who's doing a good job himself in P3. He's kept Alex at bay for now, despite some close calls.
Yeah. 5.3 and extending.
Yeah. Well, he's in a great position, Merck. It just allows him, if they've got to make a decision on the tyres, he's got a bit more time to think about it, really. Oh, he's pitted.
Oh.
Merck has pitted.
What's it on to? The wet?
Is it the wet,
oh,
the wet compound
tyres?
tyres?
Two more drivers pitted. Alex carries on. And so does Jones. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It does look wet.
Well, the changeover. Yeah, I mean, the changeover between these tyres is a smaller changeover than it is from dries to inters. But we'll see, if you watch the gap Merck to Alex, you'll see straight away what tyre's better, I would say. But Electro Freeze, he stayed out on the inters. He's split Merck from Goose, so... Yeah, he's already gained a few tenths, I think. Oh, Electro Freeze struggling on the inters as well. That's a tough corner in dry conditions. Yeah, I think we could see them come in. Yeah, it does look very bad out there, doesn't it? Watching Perennial's car. A lot of spray.
Yeah, Alex struggling now.
Yeah, he's not lost more than a second to Merckx. I think he's got a pit. His only hope is if the wets fall apart.
He's going to lose position to Bunny, I imagine, here.
But yeah, possibly even. Well, Jones gang will, I think, pit as well. Yeah, you can see so much standing water to the right of the pit straight.
Jones gang gets a penalty. Yeah, he tried to slow himself down.
Yeah, it's a shame.
So let's see where Alex comes out. It's behind Bunny. So he's lost the position there. In the pits. Hitting a lot too late.
Yeah. Tough one, really. Maybe worth a gamble, but yeah, it really is pelting it down. Again, though, you never know if someone gets a penalty.
Yeah.
It could prove very important. Really now the battle for second, unless any mistakes are made. I mean, Bad Bunny a bit wide there. I mean, in these conditions, we could easily still see someone go off or penalties applied.
Yeah,
and so
don't
on.
rule against it, yeah. I mean, that curve is definitely one to avoid now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Merckx had past trauma with that. Though he did overcome it here in Apex.
Somehow.
With a first place a few weeks ago. Outside of DTF1, so he's good at this track, Merck.
Yeah.
You know, he's had his fair share of heartbreak as well, but Perennial maybe sizing up Goose Slayer here. I think he's gaining a little bit.
Not
enough. He'll just be getting so much spray as well off
it's gonna be,
Williams.
I think it is going to be difficult to make a move here.
Then Bad Bunny falling back maybe slightly from Perennial. Alex having a look.
Yeah, not quite.
But, yeah, not close enough.
It's going to be difficult around there. It's going to be difficult anywhere now to overtake. Turn one's your best bet. As Bunny goes, loses it, and Alex tries almost to stick his nose up there. But,
yeah, did well to avoid contact. Not really worth the risk around there, I wouldn't say. They are slipping though. His car's just struggling with traction. I think the range has gotten worse even. It's very hard to see, and this is just the broadcast perspective. It's probably even worse for them.
Yeah, it's quite atrocious now. Merck extending that gap all the time, up to 8 seconds now.
Yeah. Well, I've got to be careful. If we see a big crash, we might even see a red flag. Oh, and wing damage for Alex. He's pitted. I think he hit the wall off the last corner.
Yeah. It's going to cost him quite a
He lost it only slightly. I mean, I don't think it was a total loss of the car, but it was enough to lose a bit of front wing. I think it was just the left end plate. And he's decided to pit rather than carry on.
So where's this put him? P8?
P8 should be, I think, safely. Should come out ahead of Straw Shark, I think. He's on the inside, exiting the pit lane.
Just about.
So Jones gang up to P5 now. He does have a 5-second penalty, Jones gang, but King Trooper not within that margin at the moment. Solid driver from King Trooper. I think Jones gang in the entirety of his top 6.
Possibly.
Electro Freeze has done well as well.
His reps was maybe lost when he pitted too late for the intermediates. But, you know, can't all rely on
from memory. I mean, he was a bit unlucky with a safety car as well because he pitted. I know he was in traffic, but the safety car, I think, probably hurt him a bit as well in that regard.
Yeah,
but it's still
going on.
solid points for him.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean,
I think. Carry on.
So it would have been nice to see our beloved Gary up there. Not sure how he is in the rain, but I'm not sure what happened with him and Hal, but it's always.
Yeah, I think Nicky Yaya said in the chat that he had it paused. Oh, and Goose off into the gravel.
Oh,
That's really unfortunate. Bad Bunny up to P3.
Yeah.
I think we almost got settled into a bit of a rhythm where we weren't going to see too much else happen this race, but that's really got to hurt Goose. He was leading the race at one point. The safety car restart didn't go to plan. Can he salvage third place? He's got 3.7 seconds and an overtake to make up on Bad Bunny.
Yeah, I think he's losing time.
Yeah, the wet weather's not helped him, has it? Unfortunately.
No,
on the grass bit there as well.
Stopping.
Yeah, I did just wonder that actually. It did seem,
So,
on the TV cam. It's a risk, isn't it?
I think it could see into till the end.
See how it develops. Possibly. Hopefully.
So, I've got what's happened here? There we go. That's normal.
Bad Bunny.
Glitched.
Yeah, mine's alright, to be fair. Bad Bunny, well, he was 5 tenths behind Perennial, losing a bit of time on the exit of that corner there. Be a good finish for Bad Bunny as well, especially if he can nick a podium.
He's done really good this race, because if you remember, qualifying, he had a 5-place grid drop.
Yeah, he was outside the top 10.
So, I think he started 12, 13.
And he's right at the back of Perennial now. Perennial was a bit loose on one of the earlier corners, but I think Bunny's momentum halted a little bit on the exit. Perennial's going to stick to the inside. Will the outside work out for Bunny?
Not quite.
Not quite. Yeah, good defense from Perennial there.
But this is definitely.
It's not over for. It's not over yet. I mean, that showed. If Perennial makes a small mistake, Bunny's got a chance to overtake. Goose Slayer, I think, would have gained a little bit of time back from that. So there is a chance to salvage something, perhaps. Just got to keep going. 7 laps to go. Obviously, you said it might be getting drier. It's very difficult to tell.
There's a lot of standing water, but that rain is stopping.
I think it's a difficult one. I mean, the racing line, we can see there's train tracks, but Bad Bunny there's loose.
Yeah.
And that's probably a sign that maybe it is still the wet tyres. And then if you're on the inters and if you try to overtake someone, go into all that standing water, it won't be easy. Yeah, Bad Bunny currently 16 points in the championship.
What happened there?
Yeah, they're still struggling. Yeah, I think he just lost it a bit out of the last corner. I don't think we'll be seeing inters, Josh, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's a shame. I would have liked to see that.
Oh, even then, Bunny's struggling on these wet tyres now. Unless the wets are overheating. We're not sure.
Well, Merck's got a difficult decision to make, hasn't he, up front?
Yeah, Bad Bunny really struggling. Goose Slayer,
he
might still be able to get a podium. Oh, and Bunny's lost it!
Yeah, he's definitely in.
I think unfortunately, the
Trooper's
amount that
lost
he
it as well,
spent on Trooper as well. Yeah, you might be right. I was wrong. I think you were right, Josh. Maybe it is inters. Very difficult to say.
Come on. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, slow cheaters in. Will Merc
It's
pit?
definitely,
Yeah, it does look.
yeah,
Does
it's definitely Inters, isn't it?
less rain, isn't it?
Well, this is
Quite
spiced it all
possibly.
up.
I'll let them make up their minds. Will Merc pit? As I said, it's hard to say, really. I mean, I think Bunny, maybe he was just overheating his tyres.
I think you've got to, yeah.
Merc is going to pit. Will
What does
Perennial
Perennial
risk it?
do? Yeah, he's struggling around that last corner as well. He also pits. Slayer carries on.
Go on.
So, he can maybe sniff something here that, you know,
Let's have
Jones
it.
Gang does as well.
It's Jones Gang as well.
But
But will he come out ahead of Merc? This is important. It is. Jones Gang ahead.
I think
5 laps
he's
to
struggle to
go.
keep him behind though.
Yeah. As we've said, it's not a given that you overtake here, but
There you
traction is
go.
better. Yeah, he might just get it done here, unfortunately. That is very suggestive. Well, if Jones Gang... We're going to have to hear some support from the Jones Gang. If he can somehow carry on, he's got a 10-second
I think he's
gap
going to
to
struggle.
Perennial. We'll see. I think Bad Bunny... Yeah, I mean...
What a move from if he can get it done around the outside.
Around the outside.
Beautiful stuff there.
Yeah, he's got it. That's how you win a race. He stayed calm throughout. Bided his time. Done brilliantly in these wetter conditions. I think you're right. I think the amount of time they've lost to Merc, we'll probably see them pick yellow flags. Who's that?
It is
Coyote in the pit lane.
Yeah. And then
Jones Gang gets past.
What a move! Oh, they have
Who's-
got penalty to serve, so...
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That, to be fair, I didn't quite see all of it. Saw the end of it. But that did look like one hell of a move by Jones Gang, doing the Jones Gang proud.
Yeah. There he
He's
goes.
done well with this race. I'm not sure where he started, but solid performance from Jones Gang yet again in this race.
He's beginning to build some consistency in his drives, which is, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he always says he'll DNF in the practice races, but he seems to finish. I think he said it. I think he's finished every single Tier 2 race. So he's putting the performances in when it matters.
Yeah, look how much
And it'll
time
be some more
Goose Slayer
solid
lost to
points.
Perennial then. By staying out
Yeah.
just one lap longer.
Yeah, he'll still be third at the moment, unless anyone gets penalties removed or something behind.
It's all gone downhill for
It's a
Ferrari.
Yeah.
Trooper P10 on 10 lap old Inters.
Are they 10 laps old?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting told.
I'm suspecting that's some kind of glitch, but... Unless he just stayed on them, I don't know, maybe he just stayed on them.
Who knows, but he's catching up to the back of even Alpha P9. See if he can get the move done at some point. I think he will, yeah, okay, he's gained on him, just more braking to do.
Yeah, I think B, unfortunately, Trooper's got that done there, and Slow Cheater as well on the Inters behind.
Nice and easy.
Gets it done.
Well, great to David because I think he is going to finish the race. And yeah, it's been a difficult overall section for him. You know, he struggled in qualifying and hasn't quite got going in the race. But
yeah. Well, 3 or 4 laps left. If someone spins DNFs, he might find himself nicking a point. So it is possible. Merc leading to 34, 35, 36. 3 laps to go at this stage. And he's just got to stay calm. It's very easy
compose,
to start thinking about the rain. the win, but
Right.
still plenty of corners to come. Perennial is in a similar position really in P2.
Yeah, it's, and
I think Bad Bunny's gaining on Jones Gang a bit, but Bad Bunny with that penalty to consider.
And there's something else, that the reason that Merck is 12 seconds ahead is because of that decisive move after the safety car. That, ultimately allowed him to pull away rather than being stuck in the train.
Do you think the stewards might take a look at that?
I don't think there's much to look at. I think it's just a misjudgment from Gooslayer. I mean, Perennial did overtake him before the safety car line, so he would have had to give that position back.
Yeah.
But
I don't know where the line is, to be honest.
He did it towards the end of the straight. I think he should be okay.
I think he timed it quite well from the looks.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. It was a bit unfortunate that the game puts you on the limiter.
Yeah.
At that point as well.
Yeah.
But, it's one of those. I think Bunny might have hit the wall there. Don't think he suffered any damage though. Can he possibly get a move done on Jones Gang, but it'll only be in spirit.
Yeah.
Penalty will drop
back. From him, actually, Jones Gang.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, what the? That was weird.
I think Bad Bunny, that 5-second penalty, if Alex can close that, Alex has got a chance of 5th. What, you think Jones Gang disconnected? I can see the red X.
I wondered what happened because I was on board with him. He got a little tap, and then no,
teleported backwards.
Not this. That was bloody dangerous.
I've had that happen before. It's such a piss take. If it's what happened to me, I've had a race in Japan in Apex where my game just sort of froze, and then I think I don't know if the audio was still working, but I was like I lost 10 seconds and I won.
I think that's
you
what
just
we
lose
saw.
time.
I think we saw, and that is the regular occurrence. I don't know why it is. I think it is just part of the service and part of the internet.
It happened to Sam as well in a race in Bahrain. In the Apex Season 1 finale.
Did. I think he was leading that as well.
Quite possibly. Yellow flags.
I
think that's Beaver time to Williams. He's still going though, he's not lost too much time.
I think that's Merck.
Merck will be approaching there.
Yeah.
That's something to keep him awake, keep the adrenaline going.
At the moment, Bunny will be getting that P4. Who is that?
Trooper or Cheetah, I don't know. Again, I'm not sure what that was. Only something minor, I think. Yes, I think Bunny will probably have that P4. Jones Gang still appearing as
I think he's still disconnected. But,
yeah.
Alex.
Well, I think even.
To keep up, but...
I think both of them. I think to be fair to Bunny and Jones Gang, I think they have put in very good drives today. As Merck crosses the line, he'll be so pleased with that. And if he wants to win the championship, Tier 2 championship, that's what he's got to do. Nearly 13 seconds ahead of his closest rival.
And P3, well, we thought he wasn't going to see it. This is the mistake he made, but he has got it in the bag.
Yeah. I think despite everything that happened, I think he, maybe he could have won today, but it's still a very solid points finish and a podium place. His first podium of the season. It's an upwards trend for him, and if he can take this momentum into the later races in this season, then he's got a chance to be up there more often. Electro Freeze P7, Straw Shark P8, Slow Shooter P9, King Trooper P10. Beaver Time, the last of the finishers, unfortunately, will be P11. 5 DNFs.
Yeah. Let's finish the race.
driver of the day contenders? I've got 2 in mind. I'd probably say. I think you'll probably. Well, maybe 3, but.
I'm gonna give it to Goose. I think. Not just for the race. I know, he did lose the position to where he started, but qualifying to do 1 lap, his first lap as well, that was great.
Yeah, it's a good point.
And then,
yeah.
And for his mistake in the race to get P3, so
yeah, he recovered well.
May not have been as quick as Merck today in the wet, but you've got good drivers in here. You can't win every race, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go to Goose Slay for that performance. Really good.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I mean, I'd have it either as Goose, Bad Bunny, or Merck. To be honest, just because Merck really did pull out time in the wet conditions. Really, I mean Jones Gang as well. Did well. So
yeah,
cheated.
until that's actually the end, which realistically we got P4.
Quite possibly, yeah. I mean, we never know. Bad Bunny might have been able to overtake him, but no guarantees when it's this wet, really. As we said earlier, fastest lap, King Trooper will get that extra point.
Yeah. Not quite Ferrari's day today, but
yeah, I mean, I think it's only McLaren who finished both
drivers
in the points. So we're not probably going to see too much change in terms of the constructors. Red Bull will probably benefit the most from Merck's quality drive for P1.
Totally deserved, I think, as you say.
Yeah. I mean, he was in the train in P1 and then pulled away nicely, I think.
Well. That seems to actually last quite a while. So, no complaints.
Absolutely. I'll leave you to get on with your Tier 1, Josh. I'm skipping it this week.
Yeah.
Nico's off on holidays. We're going down to the beach instead.
We survived the alarm attack, so...
that as well.
Let's hope that's...
Yeah, as always.
Yeah.
Should be back next week for France.
Hopefully. Yeah. I'll probably do that, and then it's the week break.
We've got a week's break after, so should be doing commentary again for France.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Take care. Hope to see you soon. Bye for now.